Today we will learn one of the most important topic from data structure, that is linked list. To store data, we create a mathematical model that is called data structure. If we store data properly, then it reduces the time for accessing data. There are mainly two types of data structure, linear data structure and nonlinear data structure. So what is linear data structure? A linear data structure have data elements arranged in sequential manner, and each member element is connected to its previous and next element. Such data structure are easy to implement as computer memory is also sequential. Examples are array, stack, queue, etc. Like list of student, list of marks of 100 student, list means linear. So what is nonlinear data structure? Like tree, graph, etc. Say cities which are connected with each other. We can go from A to B, A to C, A to D, etc. Not like A to B, then B to C, then C to D. That is, one cities are connected to many other cities at the same time. They are not linearly connected. So, linear data structure are stored in a line. Now, in the case of linked list is also a linear data structure. So, what is the definition of linked list? Linked list is a data structure used for storing collection of data. But see, array also a data structure used for storing collection of data. Then what is the disadvantage of array so that we can learn linked list or we should learn linked list? So what is the disadvantage of sequential list, that is array? Both arrays and linked list can be used to store linear data of similar type. But what is the disadvantage of sequential list like array? So that we have to learn linked list. See the discussion. First, insertion and deletion involves much data movement. Say I want to insert 35 to this array, so I have to shift 50 here, then 40 here, then insert 35. So insertion requires much data movement. Also for deletion, if I want to delete 27, I have to shift 48 here, then 89 here, then 51 here. So insertion and deletion requires much data movement. So it is the disadvantage of sequential list or array. Next, array requires contiguous memory location. Contiguous means next or together in sequence. So say for this array there are 12 elements. So 12 into 4, 48 bytes are required to store this array. But in your memory, if contiguous 48 bytes are not free, then you can't allocate this array to your memory. So see for example, this is non-contiguous memory. Means this memory is free, but this memory is not. This memory is free, this memory is not. So we can't allocate this array. Say this total byte is 44, but we can't allocate this array to this memory because it is not contiguous. But if it is contiguous, we can easily allocate this array to this memory. So array requires contiguous memory. That is the another disadvantage of array. Sequential list is created at the time of compilation. So when a variable is declared, compiler automatically allocates memory for it. This is known as compile time allocation. Memory is allocated before the execution of the program begins, that is during compilation. So when we declare an array int arr5, it allocates 20 bytes in memory at the time of compilation before execution of the program. Now when I run the program, we see that we require more 20 bytes. That is, the array size should be 10, but we can't change at the time of run because 20 bytes is already allocated at the time of compilation. Or see, when at the time of run we see that we require only 10 bytes. So remaining 10 bytes are total wastage. But we can't use those 10 bytes or we can't return those 10 bytes so that it is already allocated during compilation. So that is the biggest disadvantage. The biggest disadvantage of compile time memory allocation is that we do not have control on allocated memory. You cannot increase or decrease or free memory at the time of run. The compiler take care of memory management here. So it is the another disadvantage of using sequential list, that is array. So in a nutshell, we can say that insertion and deletion involves much data movements in case of array. Array requires contiguous memory. Sequential list or array is created at the time of compilation. So these are the disadvantages of using sequential list or array. So linked list is a data structure used for storing collection of data. And the properties are successive elements are connected by pointers. So each elements are connected by pointers. This next field holds the address of the next node. And this next field holds the address of the next node. So successive elements are connected by pointers. Last element points to null because after this node there is no other node, so this field is null. It can grow or shrink size during execution of program. You can add a new node, you can delete a node, so it can grow or shrink size during execution at the time of run. It can be made just as long as required. It does not waste memory space. When we add one new data element, then just create a node and add that node. Or when it is not required, that any data element is not required, you just delete that node. It does not waste memory space. So, what are the different types of linked list? We will learn each and every linked list in detail. First, we will learn linear linked list, then circular linked list, and finally, doubly linked list. Our first topic is linear linked list. Linear linked list is the default linked list and a linear data structure in which data is not stored in contiguous memory location, but each data node is connected to the next data node via a pointer and hence forming a chain. So, now we will learn linear linked list in detail. So, this is the diagrammatic representation of linear linked list. A linear linked list is a collection of nodes. Each node has two parts, info and next. Info part holds the information and next part here holds the address of the next node. The variable called external pointer or header contains the address of the first node. Say in our example it is 1000. The next part of the last node contains a special value null which indicates that after that node there is no other node in the linked list because it is the end of the linked list. No other node is there after this node, so it contains null. What is node? When we talk about storing list of information, each information set is a node which also plays a role of connection point in the list. So what is the data structure of the node? Here we define one structure, name of the structure is node and the member variables are int info. Say in our example info is integer and struct node star next means next can hold address of another node. So this is the data structure of the node. This is the example of self-referential structure because in case of self-referential structure, the pointers refers or points to the structure of the same type. See here this pointer refers or points to the structure of same type. That is, this structure is self-referential structure. There are three main operations of linked list. First is insertion. we can insert at the end of any linked list, at the beginning of any linked list, after a particular node, we can insert. Second is deletion. We can delete the last node, we can delete the first node or a particular node from the linked list. And third is traversing. Traversing means visiting each node exactly once so that we can print the whole linked list. Now I want to check whether a linked list is empty or not. Now we have to check whether our linked list is empty or not. So this is the diagram for our linked list. See, the first node address 1000 is stored in a variable called external pointer or header. External pointer or header holds the address of the first node and it has its own address, that is 600. Now, how we can check whether our linked list is empty or not? So, I am writing the function. Function name is empty. It returns either 1 or 0. Means if our linked list is empty, then it returns 1. If our linked list is not empty, then it returns 0. So, return type is integer. Struct node double star ext means what? Ext is an address, that is 600. 600 hold another address, that is 1000, and 1000 is the address of this node. That's why this double star. I repeat, ext is an address, that is 600. 600 hold another address, that is 1000, and 1000 is the address of this node. That's why this double star. Actually, we are passing the address of the external pointer. Now, if linked list is not there, if the linked list is not there, then external pointer contains null. So, see, if there is no linked list, then external pointer contains null. So, how we can check whether our linked list is empty or not? We have to check the content of external pointer. So, what should be the coding? If star ext equals to null, means if value of ext is null, then we can say that our linked list is empty, then we have to return 1, otherwise we have to return 0. Our next function is to append a new node in a linked list. Append means we have to insert a new node or add a new node at the end of the linked list. So, how we can add a new node at the end of any linked list? So, this is our linked list, existing linked list, and I want to add a new node after the last node. So, after this node I want to add. So, what should be the coding? First, function name is endInsert. Here also we are passing the address of external pointer and the new node which I want to add, its info. So, new node info we are passing. Now I declare two pointer variable p and q. P can hold address of any node, q also can hold address of any node. P equals to star ext means here I just stored the first node address to the variable p. So what is the first node address? It is 1000. Star ext means value at ext, that is value at 600, it is 1000. So I am storing the starting node address, that is star ext, to the variable p. Now I want to create the node using malloc. So malloc allocate at the time of run struct node size memory chunk and it returns the starting address of that memory chunk to the variable q. So see, this is struct node size memory chunk. So malloc allocate at the time of run struct node size memory chunk and it returns the starting address to the variable q. So the address is q. So I want to store info. I am passing this info x. So q arrow info is x. Why I am using this arrow operator? Because I am accessing by the address. So I have to use arrow operator. And q arrow next is null. I am storing the next as null. Okay. Now I want to add this node at the end of the linked list. So in this way, I first create the node. Now I have to consider different cases. First case is if our linked list is empty. Means see, if the linked list is empty, then external pointer contains null. So I have to check the content of external pointer, and if it is null, then we can say that our linked list is empty, and if our linked list is empty, then our node is the first node. So, and this is the single node of the linked list, and this is our first node. So, or this is our last node. There is only one node in the linked list. Then just give the address of this new node to here, means to the external pointer. So, what should be the coding? If p equals to null, p means what? P means star ext. So, if value at ext, star ext means value at ext. If value at ext is null, then what you have to do? Give here q. So, star ext equals to q. In this way, you can add your first node of the linked list. That is, this one is the single node of the linked list. This may be last node, this may be first node, this may be the single node of the linked list. Now, case 2. Case 2 is if there are many nodes in the linked list. See, if this is the diagram of our linked list and the first node address is stored in the external pointer. I want to add our newly created node at the last of the linked list, means after the last node I want to add our newly created node. So how we can add? First, what we have to do? We have to traverse the whole linked list till we get the last node. How we can identify the last node? The node whose next is null, that is our last node. So first I have to search, is this node's next is null? No. Then I have to search the next node, is next is null? No. Is next is null? No. Is next is null? Yes. Then I have to add this node. So what should be the coding? I start one while loop while p arrow next not equals to null. P equal to star ext. Star ext means value at ext. Value at ext means 1000. So p holds the starting address of the node. So this is our p. So p is this. Now while p arrow next not equals to null, I have to traverse the whole linked list. So while p arrow next not equals to null, first time p is this, is p arrow next is null? No. Then new p is previous p arrow next. Now the p value is, p arrow next is what? 2000. So now the p is p arrow next, that is now the new p is this. Again, is p arrow next is null? No. It is 3000. So P is P arrow next. Now the P is 3000. Is P arrow next is null? No, P arrow next is 4000. So P is P arrow next. So the new value of P is P arrow next, that is 4000. So P comes here. Is P arrow next is null? Yes. Then after this while loop, this loop will false. Then after this while loop, what is the next line? It is p arrow next equals to q. Means the new node address is stored in place of null. Because this node will be our last node now. So the new node address is stored in the next value of p. So this q is stored in this place. So q is here, and in this way you can append a new node in a linked list. Our next function is how to display a linked list. Display a linked list means I want to print info of each node in the linked list. So how we can print? See the code. First, again I am passing the address of the external pointer, that is 600. Struct node star p means p can hold address of any node. I write p equal to star ext means p equal to star ext means value at ext is 1000. So p holds this 1000. So this node is p. Now I have to print each node info portion. So I start one while loop. While p not equals to null, so is p is null? No, p is 1000. Printf p arrow info. P arrow info means what? It is 11. So print 11 first. P equals to p arrow next. So now the new p value is previous p arrow next value, means p arrow next is 2000. So p is now 2000. Again this while loop. Is P is null? No, P is 2000. Printf P arrow info, print 22. P equals to P arrow next. P is now 3000. Come here. Is P is null? No. P is now 3000. Printf P arrow info, print 33. P equals to P arrow next. P is now 4000. Is P is null? No, it is 4000. Printf P arrow info, print 44. P equals to P arrow next. Now the new P value is previous P arrow next. So it is 5000. Is P is null? No, it is 5000. Printf P arrow info, print 55. P equal to P arrow next. Now P arrow next is null. Now the P is null. Is P is null? Yes, P is null. So the result is this. In this way, we can print the whole linked list. Our next function is to delete the last node from the linked list. So deletion of the last node from the linked list. Function name is ndelete and return type is integer. Why so? The node which we want to delete, that info portion will be returned to the main or where this function called. So return type is integer because it is our integer linked list, all info are integer. So when I returned that value, that should be integer, that is the deleted node info portion. Here also we are passing the address of the external pointer, that is 600. Now struct node star p, star q means p hold address of any node, q also can hold address of any node. I am declaring another variable x, it is an integer variable. Now first case is empty linked list. Empty linked list means if there is no node, then deletion is not possible because no node is there. So how we can check whether our linked list is empty or not? If star ext means value at ext is null, then our linked list is empty. So I have to check p equal to star ext, means p means what? P means value at ext, value at ext here. If value at ext means p is null, then we can say that our linked list is empty. Now case 2, that is single node, means in your linked list if there is one single node in your linked list, then how you can check whether there is one single node or not? If P arrow next is null, means P means what? P equals to star ext, value at ext, value at ext is 1000, so P is 1000. So if P arrow next is null, then we can say that there is one single node. And after deletion of this node, no node is there, no node in the linked list. So external pointer contains null because now the linked list is empty. So what should be the coding? First you have to check whether there is one single node or not. How you can check? If P arrow next is null. So what should be the coding? If P arrow next is null, then because P is the first node or P is the starting node of the linked list and P arrow next is null, then we can say that our linked list has single node. Then what you have to do? You have to delete this node, and here at star ext you have to give null. So star ext equals to null. In place of 1000 you have to write null, and x equals to p arrow info, means what is x? X is p arrow info and we have to return this x. So x is p arrow info. Here p arrow info means here this value, and we have to return this x, return x and free p. So deallocate this memory. So see, delete this free p. Here external pointer contains null and I return x, that is p arrow info. Case 3, many nodes, means there is an existing linked list and I want to delete the last node of this linked list. So what you have to do? You have to traverse the whole linked list till we get the last node. When I get the last node, I want to delete that node and return the info. And also I have to remember the previous node address and the previous node next should be null because this node will be our last node now. After deletion of the last node, this node, here you have to give null, means this node will be our last node now. So I have to traverse the whole linked list till we get the last node. I have to delete the last node. I have to return the info. And also I have to remember the previous node address whose next should be null. So how we can write the code? What is P? P equal to star xt, that is the starting node address. Star xt means 1000, so P is this. Is P arrow next is null? No. Then Q equals to P, P equals to P arrow next. So Q is this node and P is the next node. So P is the next node and Q is this node. Again you have to check, is P arrow next is null? No. Then Q equals to P and P equals to P arrow next. So Q equals to P and P equals to P arrow next. Again check, is P arrow next is null? No, it is 4000. Then Q equals to P and P equals to P arrow next. So Q equals to P. Again, is P arrow next is null? No, it is 5000. So Q equals to P and P equals to P arrow next. Is P arrow next is null? Yes. So this while loop false. Now what you have to do? You have to delete this node, deallocate this space. So free P and x equals to P arrow info. So P arrow info means here this is x. So x will be returned. So return x. And also Q arrow next. What is Q? Q is the previous node of P. So Q arrow next here should be null. So Q arrow next is null. So Q arrow next is null. Free P, return x. What is x? X is P arrow info. So delete this node, return x, and Q arrow next is null. So in this way we can delete the last node from the linked list. Now we will learn how to write a C program to implement following operations of linked list. Append means insert a new node at the end of the linked list. Delete means delete the last node from the linked list. And display means to print the whole linked list. Now see the code. So this is our code. Here this is the structure of the node, each node, info and next. Info is integer and next can hold address of another node. These are the prototype declaration of our functions. Now when there is empty linked list, then external pointer contains null. So I just initialize external pointer as null. Now I write one case structure. First case is end insert, second case is end delete, third is display the linked list, fourth exits, and 5 default. So first case I am calling the end insert function. So supply the number of nodes you want to insert. I am taking the number of node which user want to insert and repeatedly calling an insert function. If there are 4 nodes, then this loop will execute 4 times and repeatedly call the end insert function. The body of the end insert function is written after main. And then end delete function. Case 2 is end delete. After deletion of the node, you have to return the deleted node info portion. So that is also integer, that is y, and I just print the deleted node info. Here also we are passing the address of external pointer. In case of end insert, you have to pass the address of external pointer. In case of end delete, you have to pass the address of external pointer. And third case is display. Again here you have to call another function display, and again here you have to pass the address of external pointer. Fourth case is exit, and fifth case, that is the default case, it is wrong key. Now see, this is our display function we already discussed, and here also we are passing the address of external pointer. That's why when I call display function, we are passing the address of external pointer. And this is our end insert function. Here we are passing the address of external pointer and the value which I want to insert. So when I am calling end insert function, that is case 1, see here I am passing the address of external pointer, also the value which I want to insert each time. Okay, that is the info portion. And in delete function, this is in delete function. Here also we are passing the address of external pointer, and deleted nodes info portion will be returned. So it should be integer. Return type is integer. So in delete function, when I am calling, I am passing the address of external pointer, and deleted node info portion should be stored in the variable y. I declared y as integer variable, c y as integer variable, and I am printing the value of y. Now see, when I run the program, supply your choice. First n insert, supply the number of nodes which you want to insert. Say I want to insert 5 number of nodes. So first node info portion say 11, second node info portion say 22, third node info portion say 33, fourth node it is 44, and fifth node it is 55. Now I want to display. So case 3, display the whole linked list. This is our linked list. Now I want to delete the last node, that is case 2. So the deleted node is 55. Now I want to display our linked list, case 3. So the linked list contains only these 4 nodes. And finally, case 4, exit. Now I am showing the total program. Pause this video, try to do it by your own. So this is node structure, these are prototype declaration, main function, then display function, end insert function, end delete function. Pause this video, try to do it by your own. So these are your homework. Try to answer this question, choose the correct option and answer me in the comment section. Pause this video, try to answer this question in the comment section. I am waiting for your reply. This is your programming assignment. Write a C program to implement following operations of linked list: append, end delete and display. For getting more and more updates, please like, share and subscribe my channel. That's all for today. Thank you.